The first thing that caught my eye was how effortlessly you seemed to change my world. It wasn't the grand gestures, but the little moments, the subtle shifts in perspective, and the way everything seemed to realign itself when you entered my life. I never knew how much a single glance could rewrite my entire universe. In that instant, you became the new reality I didn't know I was craving. Everything around me started to make sense in ways I hadn't even imagined. When you appeared in my world, the changes weren't just external, they were internal too. My heart learned to beat to a different rhythm, one that was in sync with the warmth of your presence. And in that change, I discovered myself. The way you shifted my perception was almost like waking from a dream I never realized I was trapped in. Suddenly, colors were more vivid, moments were more meaningful, and life felt fuller than ever before. From the moment I noticed how you effortlessly changed the atmosphere around me, I knew my world would never be the same. What I once thought I knew about love, hope, and happiness now had a whole new meaning. I didn't realize how stagnant my life was until you changed everything with your energy. It's as if a new wave of emotion swept over me, and suddenly I was alive in ways I had never imagined before. You didn't just catch my eye, you completely altered the course of my life. In your presence, I began to see myself and the world around me through a lens that was clearer, brighter, and filled with endless possibilities. The moment you came into my life, it was as if everything paused, giving way to a more beautiful version of reality. In the simplest things, you showed me the depth of life I never knew existed. What struck me wasn't just the way you looked, it was how you made me feel like I was finally home. You weren't just a part of my world, you reshaped it, making it more meaningful, more filled with love and warmth. Sometimes it's not the loudest moments that change us, but the quiet ones, when we realize that someone has entered our life and shifted our entire perspective. That's how you changed my world, without even trying. You didn't need to say a word to alter my world. Your presence spoke volumes, filling the spaces that were once empty and giving me a whole new understanding of what it means to feel truly alive. When you entered my life, everything I thought I knew about love and happiness was flipped upside down. What caught my attention wasn't just the way you changed my world, but how much more beautiful it became in the process. There are people who come into your life and add to it, and then there are those who transform it completely. You did the latter, and now every day is a reminder of how much more vibrant and alive I feel because of you. The moment you entered my world, I didn't just see you, I felt you, as if the very essence of your being was now woven into the fabric of my life, transforming it in ways I never knew were possible. You didn't just catch my eye, you caught my soul, and in doing so, you completely shifted the direction of my life. Now I see everything through the lens of your presence, and it's more beautiful than I ever imagined. What started as a mere glance quickly became the catalyst for a deeper transformation. You changed the way I looked at everything, from the smallest details to the grandest moments, turning them all into something extraordinary. In your presence, I found a world that was waiting for me to see it differently. You didn't just show me the beauty that was already there. You helped me discover a whole new perspective on everything. I never understood how much a single encounter could transform the way I see the world until you stepped into my life. Now, every day feels like an unfolding story of discovery, growth, and endless possibilities. The way you changed my world was subtle, yet profound. It wasn't just in the way you made me feel, but in how you made me see life, love, and even myself in a completely new light. I thought I had everything figured out, but then you came along, and suddenly nothing made sense in the same way. The way you changed me made me realize there's so much more to this world than I ever knew. It was in the quiet moments of being with you that I began to understand the full depth of how you altered my world. Your presence didn't just fill the spaces around me, it opened my heart to a new way of living. The first thing I noticed was how you completely shifted my perspective on what matters. What once seemed insignificant became monumental, and everything that was uncertain suddenly felt right with you by my side. The way you caught my eye wasn't just physical, it was how you made me feel like everything I was searching for was within my grasp. You didn't just change my world, you gave me a whole new one to live in. I have realized how lost I was until you came along and made everything feel so clear. The way you changed my world was more than just emotional. It was a soul deep awakening. You entered my life like a gentle breeze, but the impact you had was like a storm. Everything shifted, and suddenly I was seeing things in ways I'd never imagined. You made my world feel alive in ways it never had before. In the quiet moments of reflection, I realize that the most profound changes don't come with loud declarations or dramatic shifts. They come in the soft, unspoken moments when someone enters your life and shifts everything quietly. You changed my world not by doing anything extraordinary, but by being yourself, by existing in the space I once thought was empty and filling it with a kind of love and understanding I never knew I needed. The first time I saw you, I had no idea how much you would come to shape my world. Now, every day feels like a new adventure, a journey that began the moment you changed everything without even trying. You didn't need to say a word to leave an impact. Your very presence transformed my perception of life, and in doing so, you gave me a new outlook on what it means to truly live. The first thing that caught my eye wasn't just the way you looked, but the way you made me feel like I was finally seeing the world through the eyes of someone who truly understands me. In the briefest moment, everything changed. You entered my world, and suddenly the colors of life became more vivid, the emotions deeper, and the meaning clearer than ever before. You didn't just change my world, you made me feel like I was finally living in a world where everything had purpose, where every moment counted, and where love was the thread that held it all together. I didn't know how much I needed change until you entered my life and turned everything upside down in the best possible way. Now, every thought, every feeling, and every moment is a reflection of the transformation you sparked. The first time I looked at you, I didn't just see a person. I saw someone who had the power to shift the very foundation of my existence. Since then, everything around me feels brighter, more alive, and full of meaning. It wasn't just the way you looked that caught my eye. It was how you made me feel like the person I always wanted to become. Your presence awakened parts of me I didn't even know existed. The moment you entered my world, I realized that nothing would ever be the same. You didn't just catch my eye, you caught my heart, and with it, you changed everything about the way I see the world. There are moments in life when everything shifts, and they don't always come with fanfare or fireworks. Sometimes it's just the quiet presence of someone who changes the very air you breathe. What you gave me wasn't just love, it was an entirely new outlook on life. You showed me how to see the beauty in everything, how to embrace change, and how to feel deeply, completely, and without reservation. You didn't just catch my eye, you captured my soul, and in doing so, you transformed everything I once thought I knew about love, happiness, and the world around me. Before you entered my life, I was searching for something I couldn't name. Now, with you by my side, I realize it was never something I needed to find. It was a new way of seeing life, a new way of living. You didn't just change the way I looked at the world, you changed the way I felt about everything. Suddenly, the ordinary became extraordinary, and everything had meaning in a way I couldn't have imagined before. The world shifted the moment you entered it, and so did I. You opened my eyes to a reality where everything felt brighter, more meaningful, and more alive than I ever thought possible. What you did wasn't grand, it was gentle, subtle, and life-changing. With every glance, every smile, you quietly rewrote the story of my life. And now, I can't imagine a world without you in it. When you looked at me, you didn't just see someone, you saw a world of possibility. And in that moment, you opened my eyes to the infinite possibilities that lay before me. It's not the big moments that change us, it's the little ones, the ones we never expect. When you walked into my life, you did more than just catch my eye. You completely transformed my world in ways I can't even describe. You didn't just walk into my life, you walked into my heart and changed everything. Every thought, every emotion, every part of me shifted in ways I never imagined. And now I'm a completely different person because of you. In your presence, I discovered a new world, one where love, understanding, and depth existed in every moment. You didn't just change my world, you opened my eye to the infinite beauty that surrounds us every day.